Welcome to Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse. Today we're in the sunroom, and that's where we have our freeze dryer, and then we have this little dehydrator that we like to use for some things. As you can see, Al puts his lavender in here. The problem is, this was my mother's, and we know that it's at least 50 years old and could be more than that. I remember her using it when I was in my 20s. So it died. So today we are going to introduce a new food dryer. So let's get it out of the kitchen and bring it out here.
Gretchen found a good deal on a dryer on Amazon, and it was just delivered a little bit ago. And there it is. It's a little bit bigger than the one we had before. Gretchen, why don't I take over the camera and you finish hooking this up?
Well, okay, I think maybe I'm going to see if the cord is long enough to hook it right into the wall instead of using the extension cord. So we've been looking at the book, and one of the interesting things we saw in there was dehydrated egg yolks.
Give it a couple of twists, Gretchen, to get those kinks out of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, good idea, yeah.
Yeah, you'll get a little bit more distance out of it. There you go.
There, that's better, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Should reach now.
Through the jungle here.
Yeah. Well, it's got power and it squeaked at us.
Yeah, so there we go. This is you can get bigger ones, but this has room for 7 shelves. We decided the one for 8 was probably more than we needed. And then of course you have the time and temperature there. It's 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
I would hit the pluses and minuses there, Gretchen.
There's the time, 8 hours, and then you can change it.
Yeah, there you go.
And stop. There we go. I think we know how to work it.
Wonderful. Well, we'll load it and see what it is. And now on to the next project.
What do you have in store for me today? This particular Cana is what I'm focusing in on today. I'm in the greenhouse, and this is one that was in the pond, and it was a seedling that had multiple colors. There's some pinks, there's some yellow, there's some kind of tangerine. This, as you can see, I had some difficulty getting it out of the pot, and so I had to cut the pot. It was so root browned, and it has great big huge roots. It's going to be a challenge to separate these. As you can see, I've got it cut. Up in the upper right hand corner you see the edge of my little saw. So I had to use my saw, and actually I sawed right down through the middle. And now I'll be able to divide the other little portions off. Well, let's take a look at these. We've got them all done now, and they look pretty happy. I ended up with about 5 of them, and it'll be fun to see what all the colors turn out. Now, as you can see, I've got them sitting down here in some water because the soil, when you buy the potting soil, lots of times it's super dry, and this was super dry. So I want those to have water around them because it causes the soil to get right next to the roots. So we'll leave them sitting down here in this water overnight, and it'll absorb up through the bottom. And I do that lots of times when we're repotting. So we have 5 starts that are looking pretty good, and I got a spot up here that you'll see that we'll set them up and probably winter them all winter in the greenhouse right here where they can get a little sun. And then we'll put them out in the flower beds and some in the pond next spring. This is an orange canna that's still out in the garden, and this is the last one I will dig up, divide, and put in the greenhouse for next year. Well, as you can see, I've got, my intention out here is to talk about the cannas, but first we'll just take a look at our little cherry tomato that has got tomatoes on it. We've already picked some, and it seems to be pretty happy in here for a surprise that we got. So we'll see. And then we have our bodacious over here, and it's looking pretty happy. So now we can talk about the cannas. Over here I've got some yellow cannas and then the orange ones that I just did. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 here. Oh my goodness. And then over here are some of the rest of them. These are the ones from the pond that you saw me cut up. And this is another orange one. These cannas, I've got enough canna for me and probably some of my neighbors. But it was been fun dividing them. So the greenhouse is looking good. Shall we go take a look in the sunroom about what I've been doing in there?
I've been wanting to know about those starts and stuff that you've got going in there. Let's
We'll
go
take a look at those.
Yep.
Well, instead of going right into the sunroom, let me take you on a little side trip since we've been talking about cannas. We have one that is planted right here by the pond, and it's got some good rocks, and the pond has a little heater in it in the winter. So we thought we would leave this one in the ground this year, and I will put some mulch over it, and we'll see if it will survive the winter here. This one over here, these two, I'm going to leave in the pond and see how they winter in the pond.
They should, even if they freeze off, even with the pond, the water doesn't freeze solid, so that the roots should be good.
Yeah, we'll see what we're going to do. Of course, I always leave the iris in and the water lilies. So now let's go back and go into the sunroom. Okay, over here on the table is where I have, and you've seen this before, I'm sure, where you've seen all of our starts. These are the little seeds that I started in the jars a couple of times ago, and this is the dahlias, and I don't know if you can see in there, but they're coming up. And then here I have some stalks, and they're coming up. Some of the seeds that I collected so far aren't coming up, and I don't know, they may have needed to have been frozen and wintered first, so I may do those over and put some in the freezer and let them get cold first. Here I've got a ginger started.
Came from the grocery store, didn't it?
Yes. I killed the last one, so I thought I'd start over again. And then here are our little cuttings. This batch of cuttings, which I believe is the hibiscus, it looks like they're doing really good. This one doesn't look real good, but this is our bodacious, and it is still alive. I had 3 of them in there, and one of them is all that has survived so far. This doesn't look real good, but it has roots. So I had potted it on, so we'll see if it'll start sprouting now. So other than that, I've got these are some roses, and they've been in there quite a while. They should have roots, but I was hoping they would start getting some leaves, but we'll just leave them where they are for a while. And we might take a look here at my Christmas cactus.
Well, it's just about ready to bloom all over the place, isn't it though?
I think it's going to be a Thanksgiving cactus. What do you think?
It's starting to look like it, yes.
So that's this plant. So it's still alive. It's a start, but we haven't got any. Oh, look! I think we might be getting a sprout there. We'll see. what's going on. So maybe it'll start sprouting here pretty soon. I am starting to focus now on our indoor plants. And as you can see, this big fig behind Al, that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it off because it's growing clear up to the ceiling. But I have divided several of the indoor plants. And that's kind of what I'll be doing for the next little bit as we move from the outside to the inside.
And with the freeze dryer going in the background, that's it for this Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.